Here with Katie Smith of the New York Liberty, WNBA legend. Katie, thank you. Place to start, obviously, when we think about this team this year. What is the biggest evolution as you're looking, strategically day to day for them?
You know what? For our team, we got a lot of veterans back, right? We have a lot of pieces that we feel really comfortable with. Epiphany Prince, Tina Charles, Sugar Rogers. We did add some pieces, Kia Vaughn, a solid big, a vet, Bria Hartley, who is still baby in this league, but I think coming back home with us will be positive. And then obviously we have some newbies that are going to come in and really work hard. So far, so good. Everybody's locked in. The effort's been amazing. They've all been listening. So we have a lot of pieces. We have a lot of pieces, and we want to use everything. Just figure out how to get the most out of everybody.
Struck me when, at the time you guys acquired Amanda Zowie B, that you were sort of a perfect coach for her because of so much overlap in terms of your skills when you played and what she does on the court as well. Has that been the way you've seen it? Obviously, there's been success in terms of the way she's fit in here so far.
She has. I think it's a good fit for her. You always forget, like Zowie's, just like 22. Like she's still a very, very young player, and but has a lot of experience.
Would you have taken her number one in this draft if you had had the chance?
And that's
She was effectively your pick.
basically, and she would have been in that top tier, I think, for anybody if she was in this draft. So I think we got a steal, last year for her. But yeah, Zowie, just her unique skill, like understanding the game. She's kind of a free-flowing player. She can shoot the ball, runs well, good hands. Still just trying to find her niche here in the W. But we love, her skill set is hard to. There's not many of her out there. So that versatility brings a lot to the table, and it puts another threat on the basketball floor where you have to guard her at the three-point line.
Offensively, absolutely, but defensively also, you went points per possession. Both she and Kia were top 15, especially around the rim. Is that a second unit that allows you to exploit the depth that a lot of other teams don't have in this league?
Yeah, our bigs are something else. We are very, very deep. Stokes obviously is a presence on the floor when it comes to defense, being able to switch, being able to help. And same with Zowie. Zowie's a very good help defender. Also enjoys blocking shots. So Stokes and her really do try to make their presence felt out there. They definitely aren't sitting in the background waiting for things to happen. They like to go seek out things.
The downside to the offense in a lot of ways last year seemed to come down to turnovers. You guys were 10th overall in efficiency, top 3 ball handlers, all above 20% turnover percentage. What can you do to address that? Is pushing the pace something where you can sort of push past those mistakes, or do you think playing at a faster pace helps to limit them in some way?
I think you always have to be smart. I mean, you always want to push tempo. You always want to be aggressive and find easy buckets when you can. But it's just that decision making when it's not there, when an easy shot's not there. Understanding when to take it and when not. But it's a really fine line. But it's also just making the easy pass sometimes. Sometimes it's just allowing the next person to make that pass, not going for the home run pass. And at the end of the day, you have to be strong with the basketball. So part of it is just individual. This ball. I'm gonna take pride in having this possession. Right, value of 2 points. We talk about that a lot. So you have to be strong with the basketball, not allow little pokes and prods, and you got to understand just how valuable that possession is.
Speaking of value of each possession, with Tina, between her three-point evolution and the fact that she was taking more shots around the basket, it was some limited long twos. It seemed like there was a real emphasis on efficiency last year. Do you just expect that to continue? Is it basically we're not at the logical extreme yet as far as that goes for her?
Yeah, I think Tina, like every year, I mean, she just works and wants to add to her game and just be more versatile, be more efficient. For her, it's I think she's even going to be more aggressive when it comes to taking the contact, taking the hit, hopefully getting to the free throw line and making them pay by knocking them down. But being able to stretch it and be as quick as she is off the dribble, and then when she's as efficient as she is in the paint, she's just a tough guard. But she's so demanding on herself that it kind of is contagious through everybody else. So I look to her to have another huge year, and she's in her prime. I mean, she is our leader, and we're going to rely on her for a lot of things.
You were a forerunner of this inside-outside game that's now become so common. And I just wonder whether, for you, it just seems like a logical continuing of an arc, because people keep talking about like it's a new thing. Like Washington this year, it's some new thing. Or, when Stewie gets in the lead, when Elena gets in the lead. But it's not, in a lot of ways, a new thing.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I remember when I first got out of school, Brian Agler ran a 5-man motion. You had Andrea Lloyd back in the day, an old name for you, who played at Texas, can post up, can shoot it. Valerie Still. I mean, it's just, to me, versatility is the key for all players, right? You don't want to just be limited, I can only do one thing. So when you're versatile, it creates problems. And when you have the size and quickness to be able to go guard somebody for a little period of time that some people might think is a mismatch and vice versa, it just, man, it opens up so many things and allows you to stay on the floor and contribute. So, yeah, you're right. It's not necessarily a new thing, but it's, how they all package things. But,
And the fact that there are more and more players doing it, when you're thinking, when you're evaluating talent, even coming in here, is it harder to think about where a traditional post-bound five fits in, especially as you're projecting, say, 3, 4, 5 years from now?
it really is. You gotta understand. You think about, can they guard a smaller, a post player who likes to put it on the floor? But again, you can't coach size though. If you do need some of that sometimes. But you also want to have them be able to do other things. So. I think talent is talent. You just got to figure out where it fits, and maybe they're more spotty minutes. But then again, you want to be able to do more things so they can get on the floor and then help you and bring their game along, so they can get out there and do some things.
I would be remiss not to bring up the head coaching thing that you mentioned prior. You said, I haven't been a head coach yet, and everything like that. But obviously, it all comes down to opportunity, right? And so when you hear this discussion about women getting more of an opportunity to coach, do you see anything beyond opportunity? No matter who you talk to, it seems like it's simply a question of putting people in a position to be able to succeed.
I agree with that. Obviously you got to do your homework and know people and understand how they work. But I think once you get an opportunity, then it's yours to, kind of not do well at. But I mean, if you're going to put in the work. You got great people, great basketball minds, and hard workers. As you can see, Don Staley, you got Charlotte Smith at Elon, you got Amber Stocks now taking over, and Vicki Johnson to see how they do, and Cheryl Reeve. It's just when they get an opportunity, then you just gotta. It's just like everybody. You seize it, you go with it, and then you just continue to grow and try to do the best job you can.
Well, I look forward to covering that press conference with you as well. Katie Smith, thank you very much for your time.